right. Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites from the Indianapolis camp of the Great Millstone, and we're here to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and our fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also, salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth that be like unto the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And they are as follows: the tribe of Judah, the so-called Negroes; the tribe of Benjamin, the so-called West Indians; the tribe of Levi, the so-called Haitians; the tribe of Simeon, the so-called Dominicans; the tribe of Zebulon, the so-called Guatemalans and Panamanians; the tribe of Ephraim, the so-called Puerto Ricans; the tribe of Manasseh, the so-called Cubans; the tribe of Gad, the so-called North American Indians; the tribe of Reuben, the so-called Seminole Indians; the tribe of Naphtali, the so-called Argentinians, the Chileans; the tribe of Asher, the so-called Columbus and Uruguayans; and the tribe of Issachar, the so-called Mexicans. To you, we say Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, let's get right into it.
This is Ezekiel chapter 35, starting at verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it.
All right, so also, man, we're supposed to set our face against Mount Seir, meaning prophesy against Mount Seir, all right? Rebuke Mount Seir, also known as Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, for the wickedness and what they've done in the earth, all right?
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 36, verse 8. Thus dwelt Esau and Mount Seir. Esau is Edom, and these are the generations of Esau, the father of Edomites and Mount Seir.
All right, so ultimately at the end of the day, that's just proving that Edom goes hand in hand with Mount Seir, all right? Because ultimately Esau's name was changed to Edom, all right? In the book of Genesis, chapter 25, I believe that is, all right? So ultimately, that just proves the fact that Edom is interchangeable with Mount Seir, all right?
If I may add, that Mount Seir today is also called Petra.
It may be pointed to Babylon the Great.
Sorry.
So remember, a mountain is representative of glory.
So Isaiah 13 and 2, it says, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain.
All right, it says, lift you up a banner up on a high mountain. All right, what's that banner talking about? The scriptures. I ain't talking about the high mountain. That high mountain is going to the Edomites. All right, you know, pertaining to the upper echelon of the Edomites, the so-called elites, the Bacon families. All right, because this is their kingdom, this is their rulership. All right, so ultimately we're lifting up this banner, or we're using these scriptures to prophesy, all right, against the elites and ultimately the whole nation of Edom.
Exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the noble.
All right, it says exalt the voice unto them, meaning speak with great authority. All right, it says shake the hand, meaning that's a form of rebuke. All right, telling you all for your wickedness. All right, it says that they may go into the gate of the nobles, because remember, we're in a chief place of concourse. All right, we're prophesying against the elites, all right? And also the nation of Edom as a whole, all right?
Back in Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 3. And say unto it, thus saith Yahweh.
Technical difficulties, we're coming back.
This is Ezekiel.
Make sure it was on.
Yeah, it's okay. We're live.
This is Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 3. And say unto it, thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, Lord power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate.
All right, so the Lord said, Mount Seir, I'm against thee. All right, first and foremost, he's against the government of Esau, Edom. You know, dealing with the upper echelon of the Edomites, also known as or the Bacon families. Also, he's against the whole house of Esau. All right, he says he's going to put his hand upon you, meaning what? He's going to prepare a judgment for you, bring a judgment for you, or for the wickedness that you have done upon the earth. All right, and he says, I will make thee most desolate, because we know what the future of Esau, Edom, are beholds. All right, as a nation, y'all are going to be wiped out forever. All right, after y'all serve y'all 1,000 years of slavery. All right.
Joel chapter 3, verse 19. Egypt shall be a desolation, And Edom shall be a desolate wilderness.
And we know we're in spiritual Egypt today, all right, pursuant to the book of Revelation 11, chapter 11, verse 8. All right, we're in spiritual Egypt, all right, which is known as America, because Egypt was one of our hardest bondages. I know America was also one of our hardest bondages. So when you hear, read about Egypt, all right, in the scriptures, all right, spiritual Egypt is referring to America, all right.
And Edom shall be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land.
Right, as it is written, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob. Right, because ultimately this goes all the way back to Cain and Abel. All right, that's this perpetual hatred. All right, you know, the reason why y'all got this hatred is because the birthright. Right, y'all trying everything y'all can to get it back, but you won't prevail. All right.
Now you said ancient Egypt was called bondage. And one of the modern day Egypt was called bondage.
Right.
Just like in the ancient, even here, Esau is literally working out people to death. Like you say back in Exodus, you really said out work with rigor.
Yep.
Rigor means to literally work yourself to death.
Precept.
It's the same thing here, because what they do in modern day Egypt or Babylon, each year they keep raising the retirement age. See what I'm saying? When I was a kid, the retirement age was like 50. Now it's like damn near 70. You know what I'm saying? Damn near 70 for these people to retire. And by the time they get to that retirement age, they're actually die.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but it's 80 years, and then 3 score and 10 years, and then 80 if he does well. So, yeah, work at his death, literally.
Yeah.
All right. This is the book of Amos, chapter 1, verse 11, and it reads, Thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof.
Right, Yahweh said he's not going to turn away the judgment. All right, so ultimately, no matter how hard you try, no matter how many devices you put out there, all right, to stop the coming of our Lord, all right, there's no chance that you're escaping this judgment. All right.
And guess what? Esau, you've done something to deserve this punishment.
That's right.
That's coming.
That's right.
You're just not getting this for nothing. The Lord is not going to hand your whole DNA land for nothing, man. All right, He's not going to let you serve your 1,000 years and then walk you out totally for nothing, man. You got what you deserve, man. Through all your wickedness and your atrocities, all right, towards the Israelites, man. All right, so you get what you deserve. All right?
Come on, Hebrews 12 and 17.
The book of Hebrews chapter 12 verse 17. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, nor he sought it carefully with tears.
All right, so also, man,
Though he sought it carefully with tears.
that's ultimately at the end of the day, so due to Esau, all right, putting aside his birthright for a raw piece of meat, all right, what did he lose? All right, he lost the kingdom of heaven ultimately. All right, and he said he sought it with tears, because when you go back to the book of Genesis, you know, he wept to his father Isaac. He's like, bless me, father, bless me. All right, what did Esau ultimately end up getting? All right, the sword, all right, the fatness of the earth. All right, but ultimately Jacob, all right, Jacob got the promises, all right, the kingdom of heaven, the covenants. All right, and that, hey, Esau don't get none of that.
Everlasting
Hey,
life.
look up, somebody look up pottage right quick. Just to back up, I'm a one.
Pottage.
Pottage, a thick soup of vegetables and often meat.
So that's what he sold his birthright for. Uncooked soup. Not raw meat. Cooked it for uncooked for pieces of raw meat in there. But ultimately, in today's time, those are considered Esau, they eat what? Raw meat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. Bloody. I remember I was watching football, and the waitress was like, how would you like this steak? What dude said, I want it so raw that, what did he say? You could resuscitate it and walk away.
Oh.
Oh, man. Cool, man.
Something to meet up with the school.
Like you're a gravy, man. All right, y'all go ahead. I gotta make that point.
Back in Amos chapter 1, verse 11. starting back at the top. Thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever.
All right, so he pursued his brother with the sword. Remember, the sword is the blessing of Esau, Edom. All right, so read that again.
He says, he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity.
All right, so ultimately, at the end of the day, man, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is always looking for a way, all right, to take out you Jakes. All right, make life harder for y'all. All right, you know, the modern day sword to be a killing instrument, you know, mainly the gun. All right, what you got the police doing to Jake? All right, gunning them down in the streets. All right. All right.
And he kept his wrath forever.
All right, he kept his wrath forever. All right, that perpetual hatred. All right.
Jeremiah 51 and 25 says, behold, I am against thee. I will destroy the mountains, said the Lord. Destroys all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain.
All right, the Lord said, I'm against the old destroying mountain that destroys the earth. All right, we know that destroying mountain, or that destroying government, are the upper echelon of the Edomites, known as the elites or the banking families. All right, so who destroyed the earth, because the book of Revelation also goes into destroying those who destroyed the earth. All right, how have you destroyed the earth? All right, through your policies, all right, through your doctrines, philosophies. All right, you know, you're spraying chemtrails, you know, in the sky every damn day. All right, polluting the earth. All right, you know, the Lord is going to bring a judgment upon you for that. All right.
It's like also like the corruption of the food, what they're doing to the people, you know, trying to, you know, jab you up. You know, like I said, deforestation. You know, all these things, like you said, that they do, and that's why they're gonna be destroyed. You know, it's a lot of these, like the brother said, you're not gonna be destroyed for no reason. It's all a reason for the Lord just don't pick on you. Oh, just gonna pick on this person. He ain't do nothing. The Lord's not like that. He's righteous and just. Right? So you have to pay back. You know, you have to pretty much recompense, pay back from your sins, your transgressions. That's gonna be a reward, death and destruction. That's your wages. I see the wages of sin is death. So for your wages, your labors of wickedness, you're gonna receive, you know, death on this side, slavery in the kingdom, and then ultimately round up and burnt up altogether to be ruled up on the face of the earth.
It's Isaiah 14 and 22. 21. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their father.
I said prepare slaughter for their children for the iniquity of their fathers. I know when you bring these certain things up to Edomites, what's the first thing to say? Oh, I didn't do that. That was my ancestors back in slavery. Well, if you knew any better, you know you are your forefathers. All right, coming back in the reincarnation. All right, so ultimately, Yahweh is preparing a judgment for the whole house of Esau. All right.
That they do not rise nor possess the land nor fill the face of the world with cities.
All right, because ultimately at a point in time, you're going to come to a point in time where y'all going to be completely done away with. All right.
For I will rise up against them, said the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, the remnant, the son, and the nephew, said the Lord.
I said the name, remnant, son, and the nephew. All right, we know that the son and the nephew carries a seed line. So what's that saying right there? That Yahweh Bashim Yahshua is going to cut off the seed of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right? And we know modern day Babylon to be America. All right?
Back in Ezekiel, Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 4. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh Bashim Yahshua.
All right, so the Lord says he's going to lay your cities waste, Esau, Edom. All right, what's your main city today? America. Because we know once this destruction comes to America, all right, that's it for America. There's no coming back from this. All right?
Desolate. It's devoid of inhabitants and visitors, deserted. It's barren, lifeless.
All right, so also, man, once America is going to be done away with, all right, nobody's going to come inhabit this land, all right, after destruction. All right, now this land is going to be inhabited by these various different desert animals, but as far as people, nah, all right?
Well, that's what is going to happen to Esau, lineage. Remember it said barren.
Mm-hmm.
Barren means you can't produce no kids.
That's right.
It's, Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 13. For I have sworn by myself, saith Yahweh Shemel Shah.
All right, the Lord said he swore. Yeah, the Lord said he's sworn by himself. All right, I mean, he's going to carry it out. All right, because we know the Lord is not a man that he should lie. All right?
There's none greater than Yahweh.
That's right.
Allah did not know this.
Right, bro?
He say, for I have sworn by myself, saith Yahweh Shemel Shah, that Basra shall become a desolation.
I said Basra shall become a desolation. All right, now times of old, all right, Basra was the capital city of Edom. All right, so in today's time, all right, Basra will be America, right, because that's Esau Edom's main city today. All right.
Say that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse. And all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste.
All right, perpetual waste meaning everlasting. All right, so as we've been reiterating earlier, all right, that America is going to be done away with forever. All right, there's no coming back from this. All right.
Jumping down, verse 17. Also, Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof.
I say Edom shall be a desolation. All right, once again, the house of Esau in the days to come is going to be done away with completely. All right, it also said that the people are going to walk by astonished, or be hissing at the plague. They're going to look at this shit like, damn, like they going to know it's the judgment of the Lord. All right?
I remember going back to that definition. It said barren.
Hold on, it said, oh, you got it?
Yeah. It says desolate, meekly, desperately empty, or bare.
Also, there was one that he had, it said, without inhabitant or business.
Yep.
So, yeah, because it's going to be completely wasted. It's going to be completely, utterly destroyed. Who the hell are you going to come in here and visit? Desert animals? You know, so ain't nothing going to be over here besides them.
Remember it said barren. It's like people open up the cabin, because my cabin was barren, and it ain't nothing left. It's a wild person. Wild person is the top of scale. You know what I'm saying?
An example, verse 18, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah.
As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, and we know what happened to ancient Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, they were practicing sodomy. All right, in modern times, that's what you would call these flaming moles. All right, but ultimately Sodom and Gomorrah was set up as an example of how not to live, as the scriptures say. But we know that this kingdom, this wicked kingdom, exalts everything that they was doing in Sodom and Gomorrah. So if the Lord set up ancient Sodom and Gomorrah as an example of how not to live, and y'all living just like those individuals in the times of past, all right, what do you think he's going to do to this kingdom? All right?
See. And the neighbor cities thereof, saith Yahweh Shemel Shai, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it.
That's right, man. So, hey, man, complete destruction to the house of Esau, all right, to the land of America, all right, by way of fire and brimstone. All right?
God, if I may add, in those with that destruction, America will be a repeat of the kingdoms past. Those kingdoms never rose again. They were never in their prominence once we were delivered from them and they were destroyed. Okay, taken down.
Back in Jeremiah 51 and 29, it says, and the land shall tremble with sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant.
All right, so the land shall tremble because with this nuclear destruction that Yahweh Shemel Shai is bringing, all right, with that comes is great fear. All right?
Jeremiah 51:6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul.
Right, says flee out the midst of Babylon, meaning come out the ways of Babylon, also known as America. All right.
Go ahead.
When it's going into the scripture, man, Babylon promotes hella sin, man, if you want to put it like that. The LG, the alphabet community, all right, first and foremost, man, they got the pork and everything that you eat, even the things that you wash your body with, all right, everything has abominable stuff in it, man. All right, the so-called medicines that you take have so much stuff that's against you, all right, that clashes against your body, all right, that they still give it to you. They got to make commercials about it to tell you that the side effects from this is this, all right. So they trying to heal you from well, not heal you, but trying to make it, what's the word I want to use? You be able to live with it, but still not heal you from it, but it causes all other things deteriorating your body, man. All right, they also have adultery is being pushed at an all-time rate, all right, through the music, all right, through the television, all right, and they have everything that's against that's in the scriptures, Babylon promotes, all right, and that's why this place has to be burned to a crisp, man, all right, because it promotes everything against Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man, all right, so this, like I was saying a little earlier, this is not happening for nothing, man, all right, the Lord is not going to destroy this place for nothing. And that's what a lot of people, why this got to happen, why? Because of this, man. Through all your things that you're doing, your atrocities, all right, especially against his people, man. Everything is geared towards the Hebrew Israelites, man. Everything that you do, every law that you pass, they put all the bad foods, what they redlining, all the bad foods are in Jake neighborhoods, man. All right, these electrical wires, all right, they're underground in the richer neighborhoods. But in Jake, you have them all around here. They know they send out these bad frequencies or whatnot, man. All right, all these things are happening, all right, against us, to the Israelites, man. All right, why? Because we have no money to change it. All right, the Lord has to deliver us. And he's going to show us that he has to deliver us because he's going to let these Edomites run amok on us in Jacob's trouble, man. All right, we're coming to a time that we're going to need Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We're going to have to really, call upon him, man. All right, so I just want to put that point out there real quick.
Just to add, everything that you said was beautiful. That's why, like you say, flee out of the midst. They got to flee out of the midst of it mentally. First you do that, you arise and depart, for this is not your rest. Right? So first you do that, but then, as the elders gonna say, but that ultimate, so you start doing that within the mind, that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai put in your spirit to do so. Then after you're doing that, and you're doing what you demand to do to the best of your ability, rehearsing righteous acts, teaching, studying, whatever it is that you are doing to receive, to give diligence to make that call and election sure, then the ultimate flee you out is going to be in the chariots club and beam you up. Right? And that stranger of our salvation test. Well, when we be something that was meant. But like I said, that's first you got to flee you from the mind, and then the physical flee you out. The physical pretty much rescue mission, if you will, is going to come in the time, pretty much in this time, this is even at the door.
Back in Jeremiah 51:6, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity.
All right, it says, be not cut off her iniquity. All right, meaning don't get caught up in the ways or the wickedness of Babylon, also known as America. All right, because if you do so, all right, that could get you caught up in the destruction as well. All right, as it is written, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. All right.
For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense.
All right, so this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. All right, meaning he's bringing vengeance on behalf of his children. All right, the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, for everything that you have done to us. All right, and also the wickedness that is going on in this time of rulership. All right.
Our side ultimately be elect.
Right. And, it said he will render unto her a recompense. All right, recompense is pretty much Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, bringing all that back upon you. All right.
They pay back. That's right.
Verse,
Who
verse,
left your home? Take no chances, right?
back in Jeremiah 51:7, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, and made all the drunken, the nations drunken with the wine, therefore the nations are mad.
All right, how has Babylon made all the nations drunk? All right, through her philosophies, through her wickedness, through her doctrines. All right, so ultimately, Esau, Edom, are pushing his ways across the face of the earth onto these other different nations. All right, has made them drunk in wickedness. All right.
Ultimately, too, is their democracy. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Because you got other nations that's trying to dress and look like the Babylonians over here, right? Because a lot of these other countries have left off of their own customs and ways, off the ways of Babylon because why? America's funding them, giving them bread. Meaning what? Giving them money, giving them aid. You know?
In Revelation chapter 18, verse 3. It says, for all nations have drunk of her wine of wrath and of her fornication. The kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. The merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
Right, ultimately, what that's going into is at some point in time that these other nations have partaken in the ways of Babylon, also known as America. All right, it says the merchants. Read that again.
Revelation 18 and 3. It says, for all nations have drunk of her wine of wrath, of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
It says the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Because America is the main nation that these other nations do trade with. Right, that these other nations get rich off of. All right.
They also can come up here and set up shop here. Alright, so they don't have to pay like the taxes the citizen has to pay. Right, so they can come here and really want to just get on. That's how they're going to do it. Yep. Just come here and get on. Everything is there. Yep. Right, they don't have to pay any taxes, so everything is there. They can keep everything. Right?
There's a lot of import too. There's a lot of import too.
Yep.
We seen that when we was from, the guy owned the gas station, then about 15 years later, he let seven. How long it was he let his cousin come? He took over the gas station. They constantly do it. That way that they don't pay no taxes.
Generational wealth.
Like 18 to verse 3, this Revelation 18 and 3. For all nations have drunk of her wine of, all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath and her fornication. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her.
Yep, the kings of the earth, and it was the rulers of the other nations, presidents, the czars, or whatever you want to call them, and the other nations have laid in bed with the whore known as what? America. Because look at them. In the East, or the Orient as they call it, a lot of them stopped worshiping Buddha and started following Christianity. A lot of them don't even wear their kung fu guards no more. They start putting on what? Suit and ties, having their hair slicked back, looking like the old pet riders, you know what I'm saying? And left off the ways of their own culture. So what? Follow America, because what? America is funding them and giving them money. See what I'm saying?
If you ever watched the movie Samurai, it's a good example of that. They want the emperor to follow the old way, but the American kept coming in and giving the emperor money, so he dressed in suits. He lost the whole way of the samurai. It's a good movie to watch. Samurai.
But then when you got the kings of the earth that don't follow the democracy of America, the democracy of America, what happens? America kills them and put another puppet leader in there. You know what I'm saying? It's a continual cycle, man. You know? Yeah, but you have to make that point, man.
Jeremiah 51:8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take home for her pain, and so she may heal.
I said Babylon is falling, all right? I don't know spiritually right now, Babylon is falling. I know we know Yahweh Bashmiach Shai is going to bring a physical destruction into America, all right? It said take balm for her pain. Somebody get the word balm real quick.
You got some comments.
Bomb.
see this one.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah. Balm. It's a balsamic resin, an aromatic preparation such as for healing oil.
Right, so it's for healing on you. Also, the scripture goes up to say Babylon cannot be healed. All right, this pain that Yahweh Bashim Yashai is bringing upon America. All right, there's nothing you can do to take it away or relieve it. All right.
Brother got this sticky check. Now, back in the day, they used to call it lip balm. For what? One for your mouth when your mouth is dry and chapped. So they put that on there to ease the pain and to restore moisture back to your mouth. See what I'm saying? Same way the scripture is talking about, read that again.
Jeremiah 51:8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed.
See, that's the thing. It ain't meant for Babylon, aka America, to be healed. See what I'm saying? That's why they still take balm. Balm is what? A healing agent. They trying to put balm on America right now. Well, what? Just trying to ease the deficit. You know what I'm saying? But they can't. It's over with. See what I'm saying? That's why America, like all these 50 states are coming up with their own legislation now. Part of this, what is it? I forgot what they call it. Some type of reformation package for each state here in America to try to ease the stimulus. No, not stimulus. Try to ease the keep the deficit and the interest rate from continuing to rise.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? That's them trying to take balm for America. You know? Yeah, that's too.
Also for balm, a soothing, restorative agent. So like I say, trying to restore and rebuild America. It's not going to happen. There's no healing.
No light.
Back in Jeremiah 51:9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed.
All right, so ultimately, at the end of the day, man, Babylon or America cannot be healed, right? Because this is all the will of Yahweh Bashim Yashai, all right? It's not the will of Yahweh Bashim Yashai for Babylon, also known as America, to go on forever and ever, all right? It's the will of the Lord for this place to be destroyed, all right?
So that's a cut to you Christian churches if you're trying to pray for the restoration of America. Pray that America get healed and go back to normal. You know what I'm saying? No, this is the new norm. This is the way of life now.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, like the brother put the article in the group about how really these monkey bumps came from the juicy juice.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's why they want to get rid of TikTok. You know what I'm saying? And it makes sense. They try to blame it on the alphabet community. Okay, good, fine and dandy, but the truth of the matter is, it's all a backfire from the juicy juice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 51:9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us everyone into his own country.
All right, so ultimately, at the end of the day, man, these other nations are seeing what's happening to America, all right? The judgment that's soon to come, all right, these nations are going to flee back to their own countries, all right?
Isaiah chapter 13, verse 14. And it shall be as the chased road, and as a sheep that no man taketh up.
All right, so it shall be the chased road, because ultimately Esau Edom, this judgment is going to pursue you wherever you go, all right?
Then shall every man turn to his own people and flee everyone into his own land.
All right, so ultimately, man, before this destruction, all right, a lot of these other heathen nations are going to flee back into their own land, all right?
Like I said, also like that, no man take it up. Ain't nobody gonna be there to help you.
Right.
Anybody gonna be there on your side to aid you? No. Like you said, the judgment is set for Babylon the Great. That's right. For the atrocities, wicked atrocities, just your whole mannerism, just you in existence. The scripture said that his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. So this nigga's just not right. So if you're thinking of anything good that's gonna come out of Esau, Edom, or just his whole power structure, then you deceive.
I got that.
just to back you up with that scripture you brought out, it was the chicken place next to me. It was owned by Elon. He just sold it and went back home, man. Okay, because he said the food prices was too high for him to constantly keep having that business going, man. So he just sold it. Right?
Yeah, just real quick, just to back what you said, what you quoted. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. It says, "Behold, the soul which is lifted up is not upright in me."
All right, who's that going into? All right, Esau eating the so-called white man because this man was created to be the wicked. All right, he is labeled the wicked. All right, and ultimately he's going to fulfill his purpose. All right.
It says, "But the just shall live by his faith."
All right, so the just shall live by his faith, and we know that to be the elect. All right, because only the elect of the nation of Israel are going to completely put their trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahshua in these latter times, all right, in these trying times. All right.
Jeremiah 51:9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies.
All right, it says, for her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. So also, man, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua has remembered all your wickedness. All right, as the brother Ash was going into, man, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua is not doing this for nothing. All right, he's got all of your wickedness, all of your sin, all of your iniquity. All right, he's got that in the book. All right.
But remember too, the angels are also carrying the messages back to the
Yep.
Jeremiah 51:10, the Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord and our power.
And ultimately, right now, we're declaring the judgment that Yahweh Bashim Yahshua is soon to bring to America. All right, the Lord has set up his prophets as watchmen, all right, first and foremost to warn the house of Israel. All right, and also we're supposed to tell these other nations of the judgment, all right, pursuant to the book of Isaiah 34. All right, ultimately we're warning our people so that they can escape the judgment. All right, but only the elect of the nation of Israel is going to take heed to the message. All right.
Jeremiah 51:11, make bright the arrows.
Right, it says make bright the arrows. All right, and we know arrows to be interchangeable with missiles. All right, go ahead.
Gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes.
Now we know the modern day Medes to be the Russians. All right, so also, man, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua is raising up a warlike spirit inside of these Russians, all right, because he's mainly going to use these Russians, all right, to fire missiles, all right, along with these other nations, all right, because you also got other nations who are in league with Russia, who are also going to be aiding them and firing missiles on Babylon. All right, but we know the Medes to be the modern day Russians, so Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, all right, is raising up that warlike spirit in them. All right.
How y'all doing? Everybody look at me like y'all gonna beat me up. I need to make a left then.
No, we're just watching you, that's all.
I ain't no, I'm a good guy. I work, got my own car. I try and see what y'all doing.
No, we're just preaching the Bible. Yeah, we're preaching the Bible. We're Israelites, so are you. Yeah. We're not Muslims, we're Israelites.
Y'all not Muslim?
No, I knew you was over there praying. I knew you was talking with that Muslim on your mind.
Yeah.
We're not
I'm
Muslims.
talking to you. I'm here, man. But,
No, we're Israelites.
But I'm gonna come and see what y'all talking about this, man.
Go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 13, starting at verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in.
All right, so ultimately, once again, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua is going to raise up that warlike spirit in these Russians. All right, so that they shall not regard gold or silver. All right, so also, man, hey, rich is not on their mind. All right, the main thing on their mind is destroying America. Remember, the book of Ezekiel says, I will put an evil thought into thy mind. That's a thought of war. All right.
Verse 18. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces.
It says their bows, meaning what they're going to shoot the missiles from. All right, ultimately, it's going to be the missiles that shoot, that's going to be shot. But the bows are talking about the silos, which are going to shoot the missiles. All right.
It says, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb.
All right, so also, man, they're going to, like I said, no pity on the fruit of the womb. All right, even children are going to get caught up in this. All right, so the missiles are going to wipe out man, woman, all right, children, all right, just people in general. All right.
It says, their eye shall not spare children.
Yep. Going back to the fruit of the womb. All right, their eye shall not spare children. All right.
It say, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellence,
You said it right, Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, because ultimately, as we speak, you know, these other nations are flowing into the ways of Babylon, also known as America. All right, but Yahweh Bashim Ashai is doing away with all that. As the brother brought out earlier, therefore the nations were mad. All right, you know, these nations are detaching from the ways of Babylon, and going back to their own ways. All right.
Shall be as when Yahweh Bashim Ashai overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yep, and we know the Lord did that by way of fire and brimstone. All right, and we know the Lord's going to do that as well with the second death. All right.
It says, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation.
Hey, brother, there's no enchantment against Jacob, bro.
Right.
Don't be throwing up both sides of us, bro. And the Lord gonna destroy you, man.
Can you read that again?
This is Isaiah 13, verse 20. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation.
All right, so also, man, once this destruction comes to pass, all right, ain't nobody gonna be living here. All right.
Say, neither shall the Arabian pitch.
Now, let me make a quick point. Since he said ain't nobody gonna be living here yet, because this ain't gonna be like no Chernobyl. You know what I'm saying? Nuclear waste, and then people still living around the area around Chernobyl. No. Once the Lord sent missiles to Babylon, which is gonna be the lake of fire, what they say, the lake of hell, the lake of fire that John the Revelator saw. That's it.
Yep.
Ain't nothing gonna be living here but desert creatures, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, even Satan won't even be over here.
Say, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there. Right, go to the merchants we speaking of earlier.
Yep.
They say,
I can expound on that, but also, man, these other nations, man, they won't be able to come over here. All right, once America is destroyed, these other nations won't be able to come over here, all right, and set up shop, all right, and make profit off of America. All right. That's right.
They say, neither shall the shepherds make their fold. Oh, yeah, it's like it. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there.
All right, so no more business in America and no more profit off America. All right.
They say, okay. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there.
That's right.
And their houses shall be full of doleful creatures. An owl shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged.
So right, like going back to what the elder was saying, man, like, you know, we saying like people not gonna live here no more once this destruction comes to pass, because once the destruction of America comes to pass, all right, that's it. All right, this land is gonna be inhabited by these various different desert animals. All right, not people. All right.
Like Jeremiah 51 and 11, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes.
All right, we established that, you know, Yahweh Bashim Ashai, all right, is raising up a warlike spirit inside of these Russians, all right, because they're going to be the main ones firing missiles over here, but they also have an assembly of other nations that are going to be aiding them in firing missiles over to this place. All right. You can finish that real quick.
The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, these devices against Babylon to destroy it.
All right, what's the device that's going to be used to destroy America? All right, the nuclear missiles. All right.
Because it is vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple.
It says the vengeance of the Lord. All right, meaning Yahweh Bashim Ashai is bringing revenge for what you've done to the children of the nation of Israel. All right, first and foremost with the elect, because the Lord say He's going to avenge His elect. All right, He said, "Rejoice, ye holy apostles and prophets, because the Most High hath avenged you on earth." All right.
This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country.
All right, also that's going to Russia. All right, coming up with these different nations that are in league with them, all right, to fire missiles on America. All right.
Say, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence shall she be taken. Their arrow shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain.
All right, so also, man, all these missiles are going to hit their mark that Russia and these other nations are going to fire over on America. All right.
It says, And Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied.
So,
Say if you how about Shem Shah.
So also, man, we know the Chaldeans in times of old were a high level of witchcraft, or witches and warlocks. All right, so now we know that today to be the upper echelon of the Edomites, the elites, because they use their witchcraft by way of media, or by way of their different philosophies and doctrines. They got a spell on the people. All right, so also, man, Yahweh Bashim Yashai is going to make them a spoil. All right, he's going to completely take their kingdom from them. All right, make them subject into the Israelites. All right.
Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of my heritage. My heritage.
And who's the Lord's heritage? All right, the Israelites. All right, so because you rejoice at our downfall, rejoice at our destruction, all right, the Lord got something for you. All right.
Because ye are grown fat as a heifer at grass, and bellow as bulls, your mother shall be sore confounded.
I said you are grown fat, meaning America has received an abundance of things. All right, and we know the mother that bear you going to the UK, all right, they're going to be ashamed at you. All right. Yeah.
They say it's like your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bear you shall be ashamed.
You know, once again going to the UK. All right, because ultimately, you know, America, all right, came out of the UK. All right, so ultimately they're going to end up being ashamed at America. All right.
Right. Because that's what they had established. What the 13 original colonies, because they was colonies of, you know, Great Britain, right? Then what they had, the Revolutionary War to declare their so-called independence away from them. But as there's actual, how can I put it, actual facts or other articles that actually state that America is still under the rule of Great Britain. They say, behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert.
So also, man, what's coming to America, all right, also known as Babylon throughout the scriptures, all right, it's complete and utter destruction. All right, as we've been reiterating earlier, all right, this place is no more going to be inhabited after the destruction comes to pass. All right, Yahweh Bashim Yashai is going to lay this place completely desolate. All right.
Say, verse 13. Because of the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Yashai, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues.
All right, so can you read that from the top again?
You say, Jeremiah 50 and 13, because of the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Yashai, it shall not be inhabited.
All right, say because of the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Yashai, it shall not be inhabited. All right. What was that? Our forefather Habakkuk, he was like, damn, Lord, was you mad at the seas? Was you mad at the waters? Because this destruction that Yahweh Bashim Yashai is bringing, man, it's gonna be like none other. All right.
That's why they was all pretty much terrified. They were seeing what's going on. Like what Ezra say, woe is me, woe is me. Right? Who shall deliver me in those days? And we know that that's a man of the Lord. We know he's going to be delivered. He'll be elect. And through the Spirit, we believe he out here prophesying right now the downfall of Babylon. But it was so catastrophic and just, you know, like I said, man, the king of terrors. It was just a terrible, horrible, horrendous time that Yahweh Shai brought. And the men of the Lord, they were scared. Some prophets, they threw up. They got sick. They dead, you know. So imagine that. You know, imagine that back then. How much more so now? You know what I'm saying? As far as what they've been doing, their wickedness, their atrocities, and you got to pay for it, right? And like I said, you done did you commit a horrendous transgression against Yahweh Shai for him to utterly destroy and desolate a people, and also a landmass as big as this one. Let's say, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All you that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she has sinned against Yahweh Bashim Yashai.
Amen. Meaning once, you know, Russia and these other nations fire missiles over here in America, all right, each and every one of these missiles are going to hit their mark. All right, these missiles ain't going to, they're not going to miss the target. Right, there's not going to be any malfunction with these missiles. Right, because ultimately the Spirit of the Lord is going to be guiding these missiles. All right? So all these missiles are going to hit their target.
Okay. Get that. I'm going to read this last one. It say, shout out against her round about, she hath given her hand. Her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of Yahweh Bashim Yashai. Take vengeance upon her, and she hath done, do unto her.
All right, so also, man, Yahweh Bashim Yashai is taking vengeance upon this land. All right, mainly what happened to the Israelites. All right, what you guys have done to the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and ultimately the wickedness you have shown forth in the earth. All right, and ultimately Yahweh Bashim Yashai is tired of this shit. All right, so ultimately he's going to bring a judgment upon this place. All right.
In the book of Joel, chapter 2, I'm going to start at verse 4. It says, the appearance of them is the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so they run.
And ultimately this is going to the description of the missiles. All right, when you look up a band of horses, all right, these horses are running in formation. All right, likewise with these missiles are also going to come over here in formation. All right.
It says, like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains, shall they leap. Like the noise of flame, of fire, they that develop the stubble, as the strong men sit in battle array.
All right, also, man, when these missiles fly over here, all right, these missiles are going to make America completely desolate. All right.
It says, before their face, the people shall be much pain.
All right, because ultimately when the people of this land see the missiles come to hit America, all right, they're going to be in great fear.
Yep, chariot right there.
Oh, Lord, yeah, I'm
Right.
outside.
I was so looking for them. They here. Oh, I see them. God.
No, it's right there. It's still there.
It's two of them. It's two of them.
Yep, I see that one.
Okay. Lord, y'all about to outside.
Y'all never right there. Call on y'all about two. There's one right there. Yeah. A green one. Look. Let's go green. Call on y'all about Oh, it's another one. It's another one.
Oh, he's flashing. There you go.
Hey, people in the TV world, man, the Lord is blessing us with green chariots out here, man. We seeing green chariots out here, man. Through the spirit of prayer, how about Shema Shah, man? Look, they're going another one right there, man. Call out Yahweh Shema Shah Pakistan, man. Yeah, look at flashing, yep. Man, we almost home, man.
Man, they flashing.
They go to green one again, man.
Two green.
Yep. Hey, call out Yahweh Shema Shah Pakistan. Hey, and Lord know my favorite color green, man. Yes, look, they're going another in the clouds.
Yeah.
And it's bright.
Right, boy.
Man, hey, hop a thumb to your Akim up there, man. Man, call out Yahweh Shema Pakistan. I know, man, that's beautiful. Man, call out Yahweh Shema Shah Pakistan, man.
Our Lord is with us.
See? You need to.
Yeah, I know that.
See?
Yeah, bro.
Hey, the Lord got our back, man. Man, somebody get that in a song about an angel I encamped around about us right quick, man. Yeah, there, it's still right there, man.
Hey, I seen one that they just all got the.
Yeah, exactly. I was looking a while ago like, damn, Lord,
I got it.
Go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 7, and it reads, the angel of Yahweh encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them.
Right, man. Hey, Lord willing, we get delivered up out of here, man. By what? Our ride right there, the chariots of the Lord, man. And it's daylight, man. Man. That ain't no Southwest Airline airplane. That's a chariot of Yahweh Shem Shah, man. See what I'm saying, man?
I mean, somebody
man.
that green one it's right there.
Yep.
Right there flashing.
Yep. Just flashing. Call Yahweh Shem Shah Pakistan, man. It's still right there, look, man.
Yeah.
Letting us know, hey, we watching y'all, man. Look, there go two of them right there. There's two of them right there. Yeah, right there. There's two of them right there, man. Wow, man.
Lord giving us a show.
Right above is flashed again, right here.
I ain't never seen a green one before.
Daylight too, bro.
Yep.
Amber color, yeah.
But not the green.
Not the green. Oh man.
Wow, man. Why do y'all about shooting out shop for that, man? We ain't garbage. They should have looking like, what they looking at? We looking at chariots of the Lord, man.
But we bugged out.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
You know,
it's gone.
but we bugged out though.
Hey, we were looking at what y'all call UFOs up there. Yeah, it was 4 of them up there. 2 of them was green. Those are chariots of the Lord. That's our salvation out of here. That's what we call it. That's right. We call it our ride home up out of Babylon. See, hey, see how she was looking? Like the scripture said, the strangers of their salvation, man.
You know what? Somebody get Wisdom of Solomon. I know you still got the word too. Somebody get Wisdom of Solomon.
Wow, man.
And you
hey, so why do y'all about
you
you not shop at the top of there, man? Needed that. Hey, good job, Nathan. Hey, yes.
Popped up, bro.
Alright, let's get back to this lesson, man.
So we start going to the news.
That's a fake booster, man. That's right. That green one. Yeah. I ain't never seen no green one like that. Not in person. Not in person. I ain't never seen no green one like that. All right, bro.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness
Who is
before
that
the
righteous
faith.
man? All right, let's go to the elect of Yahweh Shemashai, going to his men. All right, let's stand before the face of such as afflict them. All right, who's our main afflictor? All right, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right, and these other heathen nations had a hand in our affliction. All right.
Before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors.
Made no account of our labors. All right, so ultimately, they consider, what we're doing on the highways and byways nothing. All right.
It says in verse 2, when they see it,
well, not just on the highway and byways, but even on your job, man. They don't give you credit for the hard work you do. They put what? More work on you, man. They don't say thank you. They say, take this other load and do whatever with it. You know what I'm saying? While they're at home, watching TV, chilling, eating pork chops and steak tartare with their families, man.
Right. See, to further add upon that, I kind of had that happen to me last week because I was loading trucks. And, it was kind of heavy, not to get off topic, but I just left one box out. The senior manager was bitching. Like, he's in there sitting on his computer not doing jack shit. Like, but once he sees you, he just bitching about it for no reason.
But they got them called up late.
Right. But he don't do shit, talk shit on people, how they do their job, and just sit at his computer.
Right. They didn't be complaining about it. Oh, I'm so tired of all these emails. What the hell? I wish I could sit down for 8-9 hours to doing emails.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Verse 2, it says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for.
I said it's the strangeness of our salvation because we're going to be delivered and be in a chariot we just saw. All right, now ultimately, why are people going to be in great fear? Because they have never seen anything like this before. All right, so ultimately, they're going to start bugging out at the sight of the chariots. All right?
No, they stand in great fear now because they see the chariot.
Yep.
Just like with the NASA feed. Remember the Issachar? Seen the big old father ship? What do? They cut the feed.
Yep.
This didn't happen numerous of times. I remember back in 2014, they lied and said they were shutting down the government trying to bring back the government so it won't shut down. But 2014. But actually, they seen a fleet of chariots coming toward Earth. They done seen it numerous of times. Remember, the angels just sent the message to many tackle. See what I'm saying? So they know what's out there, man.
Yeah, like that year when they landed at all of those nuclear sites too.
Yep.
That, yeah. So they know. Yeah. I mean, just like the nuke that they had shot off, man. The chariots ride around and destroy the nuke, man.
Yep.
All right. They shooting at them overseas. All right.
This Wisdom of Solomon 5:3, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we have sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach.
All right, so ultimately, man, these other nations make mockery of us. They make sport of us because they don't truly believe that we're the men of Yahweh Bashmi Yashar. Right, but once Yahweh Shai brings that deliverance, our Lord will be at that elect number. Right, that whole mood is gonna change. Yep. All right.
Says, we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor.
All right, because ultimately they think what we're doing is foolish, and they think what we're doing is in vain. Right, but we know that Yahweh Shai has us doing this for a greater reward. All right. What verse
It's verse 5. How is he numbered among the children of Yahweh? His lot is among the saints.
All right, so ultimately at the end of the day, they don't believe we the children of Israel, and they just think we just some random old niggas. All right. We can jump down to verse 21.
This Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 21. Then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the clouds, as from a well-drawn bow, shall they fly to the mark.
All right, what's that going into? All right, the missiles. Because once these missiles are shot, you're going to hit each and every designated target.
Somebody get that in Joel.
Back in the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 6.
Hold on.
It says, but verse 7, it says, they shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war.
Oh man, these missiles are going to be flying everywhere. All right, hitting America. All right.
It says, they shall march every one his ways, they shall not break their ranks.
All right, so they shall not break their ranks. All right, ultimately these missiles, man, they're going to hit these targets. All right, now these missiles, there's not going to be any malfunction with it. Within them. There's not going to be any malfunctions within these missiles. All right, these missiles aren't going to run into each other. They'll be like, oh shit, one of the missiles didn't hit their mark. All right, each and every one of these missiles are going to hit their mark. All right.
Verse 8. It says, neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded.
All right, so it says one shall not thrust another, meaning these missiles, they're not going to run into each other. All right, so ultimately, like the brother just said, man, the spirit of the Lord is going to be in these missiles. All right, so ultimately, man, Yahweh Shai is going to be directing these missiles, all right, and they're going to hit each and every single target. All right?
Yeah. Right. The sword is talking about.
Verse 9. They shall run to and fro in the city, they shall run up on the wall, they shall climb up on the houses, they shall enter in at the windows like a thief.
All right, so man, these missiles are going to be hitting everywhere in America. All right, this whole land is going to be laid desolate. All right.
Yeah, when that nuclear wave comes, it's gonna wipe everything. So it's gonna go to the windows and over the walls.
That's right.
We ain't talking about literal horses or Spider-Man climbing over the walls and swinging through the windows, or the SWAT team flying through the windows. We're talking about that nuclear fire, that wave that's coming, man.
And to add upon your point, Isaiah, the book of Isaiah calls it the besom of destruction. Right? And we know a besom to be a broom. So ultimately, this nuclear destruction that's coming to America is going to sweep all throughout and lay this place desolate. All right?
Yeah, that's the real street sweeping. That's somebody rusty 9 or rusty AK come out of street sweeping.
Verse 10. The earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark.
All right, so also, man, that's going to the effect of nuclear missiles. All right? As it is written, the earth shall roll to and fro like a drunkard.
I got it. It's Isaiah 24 and starting 19. It says, the earth is utterly broken down, the earth is clean dissolved, the earth is moved exceedingly.
What's going to do that? All right, the nuclear destruction. All right, because with missiles or these nuclear warheads consecutively are hitting down in America, all you're going to hear is boom, 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 and the earth is going to be shaking. All right?
It says, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again.
As also, man, Yahweh Shai is bringing this destruction because of the transgressions that have passed in this land. All right? So also, man, the wrath of the Lord is going to be shown once he starts touching down in this place with missiles, and ultimately it's already being shown. All right? But the Lord is going to turn it up. All right? All right. Go ahead. That's it.
Precept.
Further on that Joel chapter 2, right, it says the sun and the moon shall be darkened. Right, now also, man, the wisdom, right, first and foremost, smoke from the nuclear destruction, right, is going to blot out the sun and the moon. but also the wisdom, right, is going to be retracted from the earth. Right, you know, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshua is going to pull back His wisdom. Right, ultimately Yahweh Bashim Yahshua is going to do away with Esau Edom's counsel on wisdom. Right, his Esau Edom's so-called wisdom. All right. That's right.
Wisdom and team. That's right.
It says,
Hey, like you always say, bro. Hey, them wise council, the think tanks and stuff, man. They run out of ideas.
Yeah,
that's right.
To the spirit.
They bugging out. They ready to kill each other.
Right.
you said we did this.
Right. Yeah. Now they point your fingers. You know?
Back in 11, back in 10 it says, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And then right here in 11, it says that the Lord shall utter His voice, His army, or His camp is very great.
All right, we know Yahweh Bashim Yahshua to be a man of war. All right, now what consists of the Lord's army? All right, first and foremost, our Lord Yahweh Shai, and he got the holy angels of heaven backing him up, and also the nuclear missiles, the ICBMs, are also a part of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua's army. All right.
It says, for He is strong that executeth His words. It says, for the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide it?
All right, it says the day of the Lord is very great and terrible. Who can abide it? And now that word abide goes into endure. All right, so ultimately the only ones who are even going to be able to endure, all right, the day of the Lord is the elect of the nation of Israel. And on top of that, the scriptures say that the elect were affrighted, all right, when they seen the destruction come to pass. So if the elect is still going to be scared, even though they've been saved, and they still going to be scared, how much more for the 2/3 of our people in these other nations? All right.
Boy, get that, boy, read that, and then somebody, after you read that, or whoever else got preached, somebody pull 1 Peter 4.
Oh, yeah. Can somebody hold Isaiah 9 and 5 real quick?
It's Isaiah chapter 54, verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire.
All right, also, what's that going into? All right, a nuclear scientist. All right, because also, man, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua has demons set up on the left-hand side. Yahweh Bashim Yahshua has demons on the left-hand side set up to work on the minds of these individuals to bring forth these devices to bring down America. All right.
And they're bringing forth an instrument for His work. And I have created the waster to destroy.
All right, so also, man, that's going to the nuclear destruction. All right, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua has set up this nuclear scientist to create these different various nuclear missiles, the ICBMs that are going to touch down on this place. All right, ultimately, it's going to lay this place desolate. All right.
Like it says, for His work. Just like in Revelation 17, it speaks. So like in Revelation 17, it speaks about I'm right here. It says Revelation 16, 17, verses 16 points to 17. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, which ultimately is going to NATO and the EU, these shall hate the whore, Babylon the Great, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And the point is, for the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill His will. Just like put in the heart of the crafter to fulfill, to create the blow of the coals, pretty much to create the smith to blow the coals, to ultimately create the device, instrument for His will to destroy Babylon the Great and various other parts of the world.
Somebody get real quick Proverbs 21:1.
So back you say, for the Most High put in their hearts to fulfill His will. So it's His will for Babylon the Great to be a perpetual waste, and to agree and give their kingdom to the beast and to the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. So that's the point as far as we create that smith that blows the coals. Everything, all credit goes back to Yahweh Shah. He created everything. He's the producer. This is His movie. So yeah, He can put they Esau, wild this that. Man, He can do whatever He wants to do. That doesn't mean they're gonna get a pass. No, that's another atrocity that's gonna be tagged on to them. Those they're creating stuff like that they use to kill people. Well, guess what? You gonna put in the minds of them to aim their missiles over here to Babylon the Great and various other places in the world to shoot and destroy.
You don't see them answers Steven Spielberg while you make the movies where you make.
Right.
They go pay their money and sit there, eat popcorn and watch it move.
I also say, look, for who have resisted His will.
Right.
So you ain't gonna be like the other say, you ain't gonna be on set and the director say, I want you to do this and that. You tell them, no, I don't want to do that. Get your ass out. You don't tell the director. Well, you got a job then. You know?
He's saying, well, his counsel shall stand. He gonna do all his pleasure.
Right.
You know? Hey.
So like you said, part of the Lord's pleasure is what? To bring death and destruction to Babylon the Great and the various other places around the world, and also just to the people. Esau, Edom, the rest of the heathens, and also 2/3. That's part of the Lord's pleasure, and He gonna fulfill His will.
That's right.
Somebody got that Proverbs?
Proverbs 21:1. I got it. This is book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 1, and it reads, "The king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will."
That says the king's heart, meaning the king's mind, is in the hand of the Lord. So as the brother brought out earlier in Revelation that Yahweh has put in their hearts to fulfill their will, or Yahweh Bashim Yashai, or has these various different left-hand spirits are working on the mind of these individuals to create these devices to take down this kingdom. All right?
Right. So let's also go back to another point you made earlier. So let's all get together and, that's what they say, a national prayer.
Yeah.
So America can be healed. But if you in that spirit, that means you against Yahweh Shemel Shai.
Right.
His will is to destroy this place.
Right.
So you sit here trying to, like I said, pretty much hold fast what you have here, prop up this man's kingdom, do whatever you can to fix it, build back better, so to speak. Well, guess what? You get Yahweh Shemel Shai in the day of destruction. If you hear at that time period, you're gonna feel those missiles. You're gonna feel the concentrated laser beams from the chariots.
That's right.
Hey, hand join hand. Hey, you got that?
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished.
See, it's still gonna be punished.
Like you said, go ahead and uphold his kingdom. It's okay. Some of them are good. They're okay. He held the door for me. Oh, he made my sandals for me. All right, well, keep that same energy. You're going to die with that next.
Right.
And to back y'all up, man, the scriptures say, whosoever therefore is from the world is the enemy of the Most High.
Right.
That's like the brother was going into earlier. If you want to take part in trying to heal this land, you're against Yahweh Bashim Yashai. All right?
But the seed of the righteous shall be delivered.
Right. The seed of the righteous shall be delivered. All right. Who's going to be delivered in these times? All right. The elect of the nation of Israel. All right. That's the seed of the righteous. All right.
Just to back up, Chad, when you're talking about you against the Lord.
It's 1 John 2:19. It says, "They went out from us, but they were not of us. If they had been of us, they would not doubt. He continued with us, but they went out."
2:18.
This 1 John chapter 2, verse 18. It says, "Little children, it is the last time, and as ye have heard, the Antichrist shall come. Even now are there many Antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time."
So like what he just said, right? Many antichrists.
Yep.
So for y'all waiting for this man with these horns, with a three-piece suit, the cigar, and the cane, and the cigarette.
That's going to pop up in the White House.
Right. That's gonna pop up in the White House. No, that's not biblical. You know what I'm saying? Because the devil already running the world right now, Esau, Edom, right? But like you said, there are many antichrists. That was talking about in his time, but it's also many now. All those who oppose the truth of Yahweh Bashim Yashai.
Right.
You are antichrist.
That's right.
Yeah, they made a movie called The Omen talking about the one guy.
Yeah. This one nigga just gonna pop up out of nowhere.
Because remember, that's a church doctrine. Talking about the 7 years of tribulation and the rapture, and then the Antichrist shall come. Well, here the Antichrist always been here.
Yep.
Everybody that doesn't do what the whole body outside says does, you're an Antichrist. The Lord said, don't eat pork. You eat pork, you're an Antichrist.
Yep.
The Lord said, don't make mention of any God, but you praise of Jesus, Allah, Buddha, Amun Ra, Hotep, all this nonsense, you an Antichrist.
Right.
Anti just means against the anointed one, against Yahweh Shai. So if the Lord said, hey, I want you to get a cup of water and drink it at 3 o'clock on Tuesday, but instead you get a cup of milk and drink it at 9 o'clock on Wednesday, you an Antichrist.
That's right.
You didn't do what the Lord said do, man.
Like I said, why calls thou me Lord? Do not what I say.
Right. Right.
Yeah, just definition, everything that the elder said. It says Antichrist.
Then the Lord said,
Khan. One who denies and opposes Hamashiach.
read that again.
One who denies or opposes.
So we're telling you the Lord's name is Yahweh Shai, and you said no, Yahshua or Yehoshua or Higher or Jesus Christ. Read that again.
One who denies or opposes.
So what did Yahweh Shai say? If you deny me before men, I would deny you before the Father.
All right.
So anything the Lord say to do and you don't do it, well, you deny it. Keep going.
One who denies or opposes Hamashiach.
So the Lord said he only died for the nation of Israel. No, he died for everybody. Well, you're opposing the Lord, so that means what? You're an antichrist. Right.
You an op.
That's right. There you go. So the Lord gonna bring out, get the blick. What the fuck is that?
He also will say that his blick shall not miss.
That's right.
This is Proverbs 8:36. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death.
It says, he that sins against me wrongs his own soul. That's what, ultimately, you know, when you sin, you're not doing detriment to Yahweh Shem Yahshua. You're doing detriment to your own soul. Right? It says, all they that hate me love death. Right? And we know our Lord Yahweh told us, if you love me, keep my commandments. So what's the opposite of love? Hate. So if you hate the Lord, you're not keeping his commandments.
So what
right?
they make you?
An antichrist.
Right. Precept. Hey, and hate and love is what? Action words.
That's right.
Very good
action.
point. Where you see that?
Ecclesiasticus 2:15. They that fear the Lord will not disobey his words, and they that love him will keep his ways.
I said, they that fear the Lord will not disobey his ways. All right, ultimately, we know that the fear of the Lord is found in the elect in these times. All right, because ultimately the elect is going to try their best to keep the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. All right, we'll read that latter part. That motherfucker SpongeBob.
Earthworm. Yeah.
Babylon.
You got to pull up
Ecclesiasticus 2:16. They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him. They that love him shall be filled with the law.
So ultimately, man, we know that's the elect in these times. And we're going to try to seek to be obedient to Yahweh Shem Yahshua to the best of their ability. All right, now we know we're in the flesh. All right, we're going to fuck up sometimes. All right, but it's about how we get back up. All right, as it is written, let not your sins weigh you down. All right, because, you know, we make mistakes, but we learn from them. All right?
Who else got something?
Back to Ezekiel.
Who else got something?
Yeah.
Who else got something?
Yeah. This is Sirach chapter 12, verse 6.
No, just asking who else had something.
Okay.
So it's going to be number one, then Chad, and then Ron.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse 12. And now Israel, what doth the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua require of thee, but to fear the Lord thy power, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
All right, so ultimately, Yahweh Shem Yahshua requires that fear, right? That reverence, that respect for his ways. All right, you show the fear of the Lord, all right, through trying to follow his ways to the best of your ability. Because the scripture tells us that the fear of the Lord drives away sins. Because ultimately, we fear the consequences that can rain down upon us if we go off against Yahweh Shem Yahshua. All right?
Verse 13, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I have commanded thee this day for thy good.
Ultimately, as it is written, that's the whole duty of man, the Israelite man at that. All right, to fear the Most High and keep his commandments. All right?
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 6. And it reads, for the Most High hated sinners, and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly, and keep them against the mighty day of their punishment.
Read that again.
For the Most High hated sinners.
It says the Most High hated sinners. It's not no he hates the sin but loves the sinner. Nah, read that again.
For the Most High hated sinners.
The Most High hated sinners. Around it. All right.
And will repay vengeance unto the ungodly,
and keep them against the mighty day of their punishment.
Right, because it is written, "For the Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptation, but reserve the wicked unto judgment." Right, I roughly paraphrase. So, ultimately, those who are going to continue in their wickedness and constantly shut off, all right, the Bible constantly shut off the men of the Lord, constantly shut off His ways. All right, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua has a judgment prepared for them. All right, because ultimately, we know this message is for the nation of Israel, but only the elect of the nation of Israel is going to take heed. All right.
Ezekiel, back to Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5.
Yes.
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
All right, it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. All right, meaning the everlasting hatred. All right.
And hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, Esau Edom has always had it out for us. All right, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, was always on our ass. All right, like in time we were coming out of Egypt. All right, when we were coming out of Egypt, all right, Amalek came against us. All right, and every time Moses rose his hand, all right, the children of Israel would prevail. But as every time Moses drew down his hand, the children of Amalek would prevail. All right, so also, man, Esau Edom always had it out for us. All right, you know, the Lord said He would have war with Amalek from generation to generation. All right.
Oh, also let us pass through either.
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah.
Said, what's that? Numbers 20, I believe.
They wouldn't let us pass through the land. Yep.
He said, we was like, hey man, just let us pass through. Esau was like, nah, and brought out a whole bunch of reinforcements just to prevent us from going in.
So they do the sword.
Right.
No more talking. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of like the top when he stopped Jake. Well, if you think about it, that's what you saw doing now. That's right. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to get into the kingdom of heaven, man, by pulling out his sword. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Via media, the juicy juice, all righteous laws and degrees. Everything Esau does, is trying to prevent us from getting on that spiritual highway to Yahweh Shemai. Right. That's why he makes us rotten, messed up food, and
Oh yeah.
To block the spiritual highway.
You know, to further add upon your point, like you said, man, he's trying to stop us from getting to the kingdom of heaven. And that's why the scriptures label him as the accuser of our brethren. Because Esau Edom puts things out there to make us go off. All right, but then he turns around, goes and says, "Hey, Lord, look at your people. Look what they eating. Look what they doing." But the Lord's looking at you like, "Nigga, you gave them the shit. So you being a hypocrite."
Verse 6. Therefore, as I live, said Yahweh Bashim power.
Like the Lord said, therefore, as He lives, and we know Yahweh to be known as the Ancient of Days, no beginning, no ending. All right, so ultimately, what Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, His word is going to come to pass, all right, whether you like it or not. All right.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 40 say, "For I lift my head up to heaven."
I was thinking about that.
And it say, "I live forever." You know,
that's right.
So yeah, so like you said, as you live, so man, no expiration, perpetual life.
That's right.
It say, "Therefore, as I live, said Yahweh Bashim power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee."
All right, so since you were so indulged, right, in the shedding the blood of the children of Israel, all that bloodshed, all right, is going to come back on you, Esau, even the so-called white man, right, because this land known as America, all right, it was built off the blood, sweat, and tears of the Israelites. All right, also, man, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua remembers all of that. So He remembers the blood you shed, or He remembers the shit you put us through. All right, He's going to bring that back upon you. All right, as it is written, we're going to reward unto you double what you've done unto us, but in righteousness, because y'all did some vile shit in slavery.
Sorry.
All right, buck breaking our men, feeding our babies to the alligators. I know, putting our pregnant woman baby in a hole, and whipping them so that the baby can still come out. All right, y'all got a lot of shit to pay for.
Even now, still oppressing our people, man.
That's right.
All right, we're in the worst areas, man. And like Ash was bringing out earlier, man, you got power line, in the rich neighborhoods, you got all the stuff to protect them from radio waves and all that. But in Jake neighborhood, they're exposed to everything, man. All stuff wickedness, man.
Shit, hey man, even in these times, right? Esau Edom coming down with that great wrath with the sword. All right, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, even though you're His sword, all right, even though Esau Edom is the Lord's sword, all right, He's going to put His spirit on Esau Edom to wipe out these Jakes But then Yahweh Shem Yahshua is going to turn around and put judgment on you.
Balance.
That's right.
This is Numbers 35 to 33. It says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
So also, man, you defiled this land with the blood of the Israelites. All right, also said this land cannot be cleansed but by the blood of him that shed it. All right, so also, man, with this nuclear destruction, is going to come mass bloodshed. And we know that that nuclear destruction is going to produce fire, and we know fire to be a cleansing agent. All right, so also, man, the Lord is going to clean this earth whole, man. All right, he's going to do away with America. All right, once America is going to be done away with, all right, the Lord is going to restore the earth back to paradise. All right, back to Eden. All right. I done. All right.
That's what the Lord gonna say. I done.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 9. Begin at verse 9, and it reads, if any man have an ear, let him hear. Verse 10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
It says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. All right, who's the main one that leads into captivity? All right, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. But these other nations have had a hand in our slavery and our affliction too. So guess what? They're going to partake in slavery too. But the difference between the heathen nations and Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is that the house of Esau is going to be wiped out forever. All right?
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
And once again, man, Esau's blessing was a sword. All right, he's been using it to the fullest. All right? So ultimately, all that death and bloodshed is going to come back upon him. All right?
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And where patience goes into suffering. All right, we're longing, all right, to have these devils in our hand. All right, we're longing to rule over these devils. We're longing to rule over the earth. All right, we're longing to get out of this wicked kingdom. All right, who are the saints? The Israelites. All right.
This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 55. The reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom. Therefore shalt thou receive recompense.
So also, man, Yahweh Shem Yahshua is going to bring a payback for all the wickedness that you've done upon the earth. All right.
Like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith Yahweh Shem Yahshua, even so shall Yahweh Shem Yahshua do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mystery.
All right, also, who's the Lord's chosen? The Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right? As it is written, he that touches you touches the apple of mine eye. So ultimately, we're a prized possession in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Ultimately, you did what you did to us. All right, thought altogether, he that shall not go unpunished, all right, you're surely going to be punished, all right, for what you done to us, all right?
Man, you can't put a price on how much Israel is worth to the Lord. We're a priceless item to the Lord.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Peculiar treasure.
Yep.
Sorry. Just add a little bit of salt. Verse 57. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field.
All right, so ultimately, at the end of the day, man, Yahweh Shem Yahshua is going to bring complete, total death and destruction upon the house of Esau. All right, for everything you've done to the Israelites, for all the wickedness you've committed in the earth, all right, the Lord has a recompense for that. There's no way you can escape it. All right, no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Is it?
All right. All right, with that. All right, that we hope this lesson was edifying for the body. Once again, we're going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Akakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who were well in teaching us this 100% truth.
Hey, do that good.
Start over. All right. With that, we hope this lesson was edifying to the body. Once again, we're going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Akakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who were well in teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and our fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also, salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, They be like unto the speckled bird. To you, we say shalom.
Shalom.
Abba Babal.
Abba Babal.
Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.
All right, shalom to you, sincere Akim and Akwath on the comment board.
Shalom.